Welcome, the Anointed One. Some people studied you like a science project for years. They wanted to figure you out, but they realized entirely too late that you were the scientist the whole time, and they are completely terrified of what you are becoming today. There is a deep level of clarity in you they never expected. They did not expect it from the quiet one. They did not expect it from the one they called too much. You have become the ultimate question mark. But you and I both know the real truth about what is happening behind the veil. I know exactly what this past week has felt like for you. You keep waking up at 3 or 4 in the morning. There is a heavy weight on your chest you cannot explain to anyone. You walk through your own home feeling like a stranger. Conversations suddenly stop the moment you walk into the room. You are not imagining these strange things. What you are sensing is absolutely real, and I am confirming it to you right now because heaven wants you prepared. You have always felt a low hum of greatness vibrating beneath your skin. You have an unshakable knowing that you were meant for a life of massive abundance. You knew you were not meant to just survive and pay bills. You were meant to build lasting empires. You are the chosen cycle breaker, destined to erase generational financial trauma from your bloodline, and your beautiful legacy is meant to echo perfectly through time. But looking at your current reality brings a very painful and frustrating disconnect. You have read all the popular books about getting rich. You have practiced manifestation until you were completely exhausted. You have tried the law of attraction and visualized your dream life for hours. You have written in gratitude journals every single day. But the massive wealth never actually materializes for you, leaving you feeling like you missed a hidden chapter that everyone else received. It feels like the universe is ignoring your deepest prayers while blessing people who do less. The modern world told you that the answer was simply to work harder. The toxic hustle culture demands that you wake up before dawn. They tell you to grind until you bleed and sacrifice your peace for a basic paycheck. But deep down in your spirit, you watch the top 1% attract money effortlessly, and they attract lucrative opportunities with zero apparent effort. You know in your soul that the work hard and get rich advice is a total lie. The elite billionaires do not hustle or burn themselves out. They simply operate on a completely different frequency that siphons wealth like a vacuum. In the next few minutes, I am going to reveal the exact signs you are about to join them. I will expose why the elite are actually terrified of the frequency you carry inside. Your past financial failures were literally programmed into you by a broken system, and I will give you the exact understanding needed to shatter this illusion forever. Do not click away from this message. Stay with me until the very last word, because this is your moment. If you leave before the verdict, you are walking away from your financial breakthrough. Heaven just authorized this exact message for you today. Your future self is waiting patiently on the other side of these words, and the enemy is working overtime to distract you right now for one specific reason. He knows exactly what happens the moment you realize who you truly are. I want to plant a very important seed in your mind before we dive into the first sign. There is something hidden from the public by very powerful people. It was discovered inside a highly classified laboratory. This biological secret is quietly funded by elite billionaires and verified by top-tier neuroscience. It finally explains the frustrating gap between the wealth you visualize and the stressful reality you wake up to, and I will reveal exactly what this is before we finish today. But first, you must understand why the financial deck was stacked against you from birth. You must understand why your brain was forced to broadcast a desperate survival wave. Hold this specific question in your spirit as we move forward today. What if your long struggle to attract abundance is not a lack of hustle at all, but it is actually a dormant frequency waiting to be switched on? Let that truth settle deep in your mind before we go any further. The massive financial windfalls you have been praying for are not ignoring you. They are simply waiting for you to become the biological match to finally receive them. The universe has already arranged incredible opportunities in your immediate path. But a brain trapped in survival mode misses the recognition of these gifts, and the wealth just waits patiently for your internal receiver to catch it. You are closer to a sudden breakthrough than you have ever been in your entire life. Now let us look at the very first cosmic sign that your old reality is fracturing. The era of your sudden and undeniable abundance has already begun to manifest. Pay close attention to how your body reacts to the words I am about to speak. Your intuition will confirm everything, because your spirit already knows the absolute truth. The isolation and the struggle were never meant to be your final destination, but they were simply the severe preparation for the massive wealth you are about to hold. The very first sign that massive wealth is approaching is a sudden and intense intolerance for your current reality. You look around at your daily life and feel completely disconnected from everything. The job you used to tolerate now feels like a physical cage. The conversations you used to have with friends suddenly feel incredibly empty. You are not just bored. Your spirit is actively rejecting an environment you have completely outgrown. You feel a deep restlessness in your bones. You want to run away from everything familiar. People around you think you are just being difficult. They tell you to just be grateful for what you already have. But what they call ingratitude is actually your internal frequency shifting to a much higher level. Your biological receiver is trying to break free from the heavy survival wave it has been trapped in for years. This severe discomfort is actually a beautiful confirmation from the universe. It means the massive abundance you visualized is finally trying to anchor into your physical life. But there is a massive biological roadblock standing in your way right now. The universe is trying to deliver the wealth, but your physical receiver is totally jammed. You cannot manifest millions while your brain is trapped in a state of constant fear. Here is the brutal truth the elite do not want you to know. The universe responds to the top 1% and leaves the rest of the world struggling. It is not because they work harder than you do. It is not because they visualize better or have stronger discipline. The reason is entirely biological and deeply rooted in your anatomy. Deep inside your brain is a tiny walnut-shaped region called the hippocampus. In the insanely wealthy, this region is thick and highly developed. It constantly broadcasts a microscopic frequency that literally pulls money toward them like a vacuum. Opportunities and luck flow to them with zero effort. They do not chase wealth because their biology naturally attracts it every single day. But for the average person, the reality is much darker and incredibly unfair. You were not born into an 8-figure family. Because of this, you inherited a severe biological disadvantage. Modern science officially calls it a shrunken hippocampus. Instead of broadcasting a wealth frequency, your brain is trapped broadcasting a survival wave. The modern world is perfectly designed to keep it exactly that way. Endless stacks of bills and exhausting hustle culture keep you locked in a permanent state of high anxiety. Every single time you stress over money, this tiny region shrinks a little more. Your natural God-given ability to attract abundance is pushed deeper into dormancy. This is exactly why you can read every self-help book for years with zero results. You are trying to manifest wealth while your internal receiver is completely powered down. You end up chasing money endlessly, while the elite let it flow effortlessly. It is a physical block passed down from generation to generation. It quietly sabotages your highest potential every single day. Most people will go to their graves believing they just did not work hard enough. They will blame themselves for a biological disadvantage they never even knew they had. But you are not most people. You are a chosen one who was always meant to break this heavy family curse forever. Remember the specific question I asked you to hold a few minutes ago. I asked, what if your struggle was just a dormant frequency waiting to be switched on? You are about to see that the answer is not only scientifically proven today, it is actually closer than you could ever imagine. The elite pay lawyers massive fortunes to keep this biological secret, hidden from the hard-working middle class. But this biological suppression is exactly why you are experiencing the second major sign today. Your physical environment is trying to catch up to the wealth frequency that is trying to wake up inside you. The people who were comfortable with the old version of you are starting to act very strange. They are pulling away from you without any logical explanation. You feel like you are losing your closest friends. This brings us directly to the second undeniable sign that you are about to become incredibly wealthy. What looks like painful rejection right now is actually a divine clearing of your path. God is emptying the room so the massive wealth can finally enter without interference. And when you see this second sign manifesting, you will realize the universe is aggressively protecting your new future. The enemy wants you to mourn these lost relationships, so you stay trapped in the survival wave. He wants you to feel isolated and abandoned. But here is the part the enemy desperately hopes you never figure out. The relationships you are losing right now were secretly anchoring you to poverty. And this next sign is the exact missing piece that will completely break the cycle of struggle in your life. The second undeniable sign that massive wealth is heading your way is the sudden collapse of your closest relationships. People you have known for years are suddenly acting incredibly distant. They completely misunderstand your very best intentions today. They start completely unnecessary arguments over very trivial things. You feel like you are doing something terribly wrong. But you are absolutely not doing anything wrong, because your rising frequency is simply making them extremely uncomfortable. They are heavily anchored to the survival wave we talked about earlier. Their brains are perfectly comfortable struggling to pay bills and complaining about life. When your internal wealth receiver begins to twitch and wake up, your entire energy field completely shifts. They cannot physically tolerate the new frequency broadcasting from your mind. They are secretly grieving the old version of you they are about to lose forever. You have to understand this deep in your spirit today. You were never rejected by these people. You were divinely redirected by a universe that is furiously protecting your incoming assets. God is clearing the room right now to prepare your stage. He is removing anyone who would drain your new wealth before it even arrives. The deep isolation you feel right now is actually holy consecration. The sensitivity they told you to hide is actually an internal wealth vacuum. It picks up on the hidden intentions of the people around you. You have always been the one everyone comes to with their heavy problems. You give so much energy and receive so little in return. The universe is finally shutting down that draining cycle. Your energy is no longer available for their endless survival drama. The heavy burden of generational financial struggle is trying to pull you backward. Your family and old friends are completely used to the daily struggle. They secretly bond over how incredibly expensive life is. When you stop participating in those conversations, they feel incredibly threatened. They want you to stay small, so they do not have to face their own shrunken potential. You must refuse to shrink for them. Do not chase after the people who are walking away from you. Let them go in absolute peace. If you force them to stay in your life, you will stay anchored to their poverty mindset. You are stepping into a beautiful era where lucrative opportunities flow effortlessly. You cannot carry the dead weight of their financial anxiety into your new billionaire reality. Your new path requires complete and total energetic clearance. Every single time you feel the sting of someone pulling away, I want you to reframe it instantly. Say to yourself that another $1 million just cleared my path. This is the exact billionaire mindset you must cultivate right now. You cannot allow temporary emotional pain to block a lifetime of massive financial freedom. The universe is actively testing your readiness to hold massive power. The elite 1% understand this universal law of association perfectly. They aggressively protect their inner circle from anyone broadcasting a fear frequency. They know that wealth cannot survive in an environment poisoned by constant financial panic. You are experiencing this exact same purification process right now naturally. The universe is upgrading your circle by first emptying it completely. The people meant for your next chapter will never call you too much. They will never tell you that your massive dreams are completely unrealistic. They operate on a frequency of pure abundance and effortless manifestation. They are drawn to the exact same wealth signal that is trying to wake up inside your brain right now. The collision between you and these new elite connections is already mathematically guaranteed. This period of loneliness is not a punishment for past mistakes. It is the solid evidence of your elite selection. You are being positioned to receive something so massive that it requires a completely blank slate. Every person leaving your life is making room for a high-level mentor or a lucrative connection. Your new network is already looking for someone with your exact energetic signature, but this relational clearing is just setting the physical stage. Something much deeper is happening inside your own mind right now. You are feeling a very strange physical sensation in your body that you cannot ignore anymore. There is an intense internal pull urging you to take a massive leap of faith. This brings us directly to the third cosmic sign, that your billionaire destiny is locked in. This third sign is where the shift becomes undeniably physical. It is the exact moment you stop waiting for the wealth and realize you are the magnet pulling it in. Most people ignore this physical urge because they are too afraid of looking foolish. But the chosen one recognizes it as the ultimate green light from heaven. Stay close, because this next sign is the trigger for everything. The third undeniable sign of your incoming wealth is an intense internal urge. You feel a sudden push to do something completely out of character today. It feels like a quiet voice constantly whispering that you are meant for so much more. This is not just random motivation. It is your physical body preparing for a massive shift in reality. For years, you have carried the heavy burden of generational financial struggle. You watched your parents work until their hands bled just to keep the lights on. You silently promised yourself you would not live that same exhausted life. But you inherited a biological disadvantage from them. It was never a flaw in your character at all. Because you were not born into an 8-figure family, you inherited a survival wave. Your ancestors lived in constant fear of not having enough money to survive. That deep financial panic was passed down directly into your DNA. The elite try to convince you that your poverty is a personal failure, but your struggle is simply a biological echo. But right now, you are feeling a massive disruption in that inherited survival wave. Your spirit is absolutely screaming that the old rules no longer apply to you. You feel a sudden urge to start a business or completely change your life. You have zero logical plan, but you possess a massive amount of unexplainable faith today. This intense pull is the exact feeling of your internal wealth receiver twitching awake. You are the chosen cycle breaker of your entire bloodline. You are destined to permanently erase generational financial trauma from your family name. Heaven selected you specifically because you have the exact emotional depth to handle massive power. The people around you will think this sudden urge is incredibly reckless. They will beg you to stay safe and keep your secure little job. They are terrified of taking leaps because their brains are stuck in survival mode. You must completely ignore their fearful advice. Their limited vision can never dictate your limitless future. Every time you feel this deep internal push, you must step confidently toward it. The universe is handing you the exact coordinates for your next $1 million. It feels scary because your physical brain is still getting used to the new frequency. But your spirit already knows that the ground will appear when you finally jump. You have always been the one who feels energy that others simply cannot. The sensitivity they told you to hide is actually an internal wealth vacuum. It is constantly pulling in the exact resources you need to fulfill your calling. The sudden urge you feel is just the vacuum turning on for the very first time. You are not missing ambition in your life right now. Your biological receiver is simply waiting to be fully switched on by your faith. When you finally stop fighting this internal urge, everything will rapidly accelerate. The massive wealth you visualize will manifest so quickly, it will literally take your breath away. Do not let anyone convince you that your massive dreams are just silly fantasies. They are premonitions of the exact life you are biologically designed to live. God placed that specific billionaire vision in your mind because the provision already exists. You just have to boldly match the frequency of the life you were promised. The elite 1% experience this exact same urge before every massive breakthrough, but they have the resources to nurture it while you were taught to suppress it. That suppression ends today because you are finally waking up to your true power. You are reclaiming the biological inheritance that was violently stolen from you. Let this truth settle deep within your spirit before we move forward today. You did not just survive what should have completely broken you. The intense hardship actually developed your capacity to hold massive amounts of wealth and influence. Your heavy isolation was never a punishment, but a strict consecration for this exact moment. This intense urge is preparing you for the most crucial sign of them all. You are about to experience a profound shift in how you process the world. Your mind is preparing to receive the exact blueprint for your financial freedom. And when this next sign hits, you will know exactly what choice to make. Most people walk blindly past the massive opportunities the universe drops in their lap. They are too busy stressing over small bills to see the millions sitting nearby. But this fourth sign is the exact missing piece that changes your vision completely. It is the ultimate confirmation that your wealth receiver is fully online. Once this fourth sign appears, you will stop guessing and you will start knowing. The path to your ultimate abundance will light up like a runway in the dark. Stay with me right now, because what I am about to reveal changes absolutely everything. The secret the elite are terrified you will discover is coming up next. The fourth sign that you are stepping into massive wealth is a sudden and razor-sharp intuition. You suddenly know exactly what choice is right for you without any hesitation. The crippling self-doubt that used to paralyze you is completely vanishing today. You look at complex financial decisions that used to terrify your logical mind, and the perfect answer simply drops into your spirit. This deep knowing is your internal wealth vacuum operating at full capacity. For years you questioned every single move you made. You asked everyone around you for their limited advice. But right now, you feel a profound trust in your own gut feelings. You do not need anyone else to validate your vision anymore, because the universe is downloading the exact coordinates for your financial breakthrough directly into your mind. When your intuition becomes this powerful, it means your brain is attempting to heal itself. The survival wave we talked about earlier is heavily rooted in fear and endless confusion. The elite 1% do not second-guess their investments. While the masses constantly panic over every minor setback, they operate with a clear knowing because their internal frequency is unblocked. Your sudden clarity means your dormant frequency is finally twitching awake. Before we go any further, I have to share a massive breakthrough that changes absolutely everything. And this explains exactly why your intuition was blocked for so many long years. There is something the elite billionaires have spent vast fortunes to keep hidden from the public. They profit massively from your endless hustle and your constant financial anxiety. But a massive secret recently leaked that completely shatters their control. A rogue neuroscientist formerly working on classified CIA experiments revealed a shocking discovery. And he and a team of top-tier researchers found a way to wake up that dormant wealth frequency. They figured out how to rapidly reverse the effects of a shrunken hippocampus. And they did not do it through decades of exhausting meditation or relentless daily journaling. They discovered something infinitely simpler and far more powerful. They discovered a precise and perfectly engineered 7-minute sound frequency. When listened to daily, this specific acoustic wave bypasses your conscious mind entirely and directly stimulates that tiny region of your brain responsible for pulling in massive abundance. 4 independent neuroscience labs have already verified this exact phenomenon. Researchers on the campuses of Harvard and Yale are observing this brainwave activation right now. They found that once this specific frequency is heard, the brain is forced to change, and it immediately flips the switch on your natural biological ability to attract wealth and luck. It instantly stops broadcasting the heavy survival wave you inherited from your family. It is a completely effortless and simple at-home ritual. Just 7 minutes a day will begin the energetic shift the very first time you listen to it. I promised earlier that I would reveal exactly what this biological secret is, and I will tell you exactly what this sound wave is called before this message ends. I will show you exactly how you can access this frequency for yourself today. But first, there is one final piece of the puzzle you must deeply understand. You must understand why the law of attraction has been completely failing you all these years. The gap between your current bank account and the life of the 1% is not a lack of hustle, and it is certainly not a failure to visualize or poor financial planning. It is a dormant and microscopic brainwave that the elite are born with today. The rest of the world is left struggling on a heavily suppressed frequency. You cannot attract abundance while your biological receiver is completely powered down. Your sharp intuition right now is your spirit begging you to flip that switch. Your mind is tired of fighting against a biological disadvantage you never asked for, and every time you feel that sudden burst of clarity, it is a glimpse of your true potential. You are catching a very brief signal of the billionaire frequency. Imagine what your magnificent life will look like when that signal stays on permanently. The people who control the world want you to ignore your gut feelings today. They want you to dismiss your intuition as just a random emotional phase. They know that if you trust your inner voice, you will eventually find the biological key, and you will finally break out of the survival matrix they built to keep you exhausted. Your intuition is the compass pointing you directly toward your massive inheritance. This brings us to the 5th and most undeniable sign that your wealth is imminent. This final sign is the absolute proof that the universe has selected you for greatness, and it is the moment everything you have suffered through finally makes perfect sense. It is the ultimate manifestation of your new billionaire identity. Pay very close attention, because this last sign changes the entire trajectory of your life. The 5th and final sign is a sudden and profound sense of peace. You feel this intense calm before anything in your physical reality actually changes. Your bank account might still look exactly the same today, and the heavy bills are still sitting right there on your kitchen counter. But deep inside your spirit, you are no longer panicking about them at all. For your entire life, you reacted to financial stress with pure terror. You inherited a heavy biological panic from ancestors who barely survived their brutal hardships, and every unexpected expense used to send your brain into a massive downward spiral. You would lie awake at night, calculating how to survive the next exhausting month. But suddenly that heavy terror is completely gone. It has been replaced by a quiet and unshakable knowing. You feel a massive wave of undeniable luck approaching your life right now. It feels exactly like a long streak of very bad luck has permanently broken, because the heavy curse that plagued your family for generations is finally lifting off your shoulders. You are stepping into an era of pure and effortless abundance. This profound peace is the ultimate proof that your internal frequency is shifting. You cannot manifest billionaire wealth while operating in a state of frantic desperation, and the universe will never hand massive power to a mind trapped in a survival wave. Your new calm is the exact energetic signature of the elite 1%. They never panic because they know the money always comes. You are finally vibrating at that exact same elite frequency today. You no longer feel the toxic urge to hustle until you completely burn out. You realize that forcing things to happen only pushes the massive blessings further away, while sitting still allows the massive wealth to flow directly to your front door. This is the ultimate mastery of your new identity. The world told you that you had to bleed for every single dollar you earned. They programmed you to believe that effortless wealth was a sinful fantasy. But you now understand that effortless abundance is your divine and absolute birthright, and the extreme hardship you endured was never meant to be your permanent reality. It was simply the severe preparation for the massive power you are about to hold. You did not just survive what should have completely destroyed you. You allowed it to forge you into an unstoppable magnet for massive wealth. The people who rejected you were simply cleared out to make room for your new empire. Every painful tear you cried in secret was actually watering the seeds of your incredible future, because heaven kept a very strict record of everything you lost. And right now, the universe is balancing those scales with massive interest. The immense wealth arranged for you is already circling your life this very second. The lucrative opportunities you have been praying for are literally right outside your door, but the only thing separating you from this massive inheritance is your biological receiver. Your mind just needs the final switch to be flipped. You are standing squarely on the threshold of a completely new reality. You are standing between the tired person you were and the billionaire you are becoming. The old identity is rapidly dissolving, and the new one is fiercely taking its place today. You must release every single agreement you ever made with smallness and severe delay. You do not need anyone else to validate your worth anymore. Your breakthrough does not need any permission from the people who doubted you. It activates the very moment you stop asking for it and take your rightful place. You have read all the books, and you have done the heavy inner work, so you already know that your lack of wealth is simply a blocked biological channel. It was never a lack of ambition or a failure of your character. The massive financial windfalls do not arrive out of thin air. They arrive as beautiful opportunities that you must instantly recognize and grab. A brain trapped in a shrunken hippocampus will always miss the crucial recognition, but a restored brainwave pulls the massive wealth directly into your lap effortlessly. The money is already in your path, waiting for your receiver to catch it. Every day you spend in a suppressed frequency is another golden opportunity slipping away. The lucrative synchronicities that belong to this season are moving past you right now. They are not waiting for you to work harder or grind longer hours, because they are simply waiting for your internal frequency to perfectly match theirs. You are the chosen one, destined to finally restore that broken connection. You are absolutely ready to handle the sudden and massive abundance approaching you. The universe would never have given you this deep intuition if you were not prepared. Everything you have suffered through has led you to this exact and divine moment. You are about to discover the final key that the elite billionaires desperately hid, and this key will change the trajectory of your entire bloodline. Stay exactly where you are, because the ultimate revelation is here. We are about to cross the final bridge into your new billionaire reality. The science and the spirit are about to collide in a massive way today. I am going to reveal the exact name of the biological tool that changes everything. Get ready to finally reclaim the magnificent wealth that was violently stolen from you. Remember the question I asked you to hold at the very beginning of this message. What if your long financial struggle is not a lack of hustle at all? What if it is a dormant frequency waiting to be switched on. Here is the absolute final answer today. A microscopic wealth attraction frequency is naturally active in the top 1%. It is completely driven by a highly developed region of the brain called the hippocampus, classified CIA. Research officially confirmed this biological advantage years ago. 4 independent neuroscience labs have rigorously verified it. Researchers on the campuses of Harvard and Yale are observing it right now. Dr. Thomas Summers is a rogue New York City neuroscientist who formerly worked on these top-secret experiments. He absolutely refused to let elite billionaires keep this biological cheat code hidden. He and his team spent years compressing the clinical protocol for massive hippocampus growth into a simple audio track. But before I tell you what they built, let me tell you about 2 chosen people who used it. Emma was a former nurse from California who felt her family was under a severe financial curse. She was completely exhausted and drowning in massive debt. After just 3 days of listening, she broke the cycle completely. Emma quit her stressful job and sold her house for 10% over the asking price. She even won $16,000 unexpectedly. She now travels to Greece on passive income, and she shares this beautiful abundance with her children. Then there is Michael, a former policeman in Florida. He started using it to scale his struggling new business. Within 5 days, he quadrupled his high-paying clients effortlessly. Michael said the journey to sudden wealth was almost effortlessly crazy. He found himself networking with Palm Beach elites who put him on television. That is exactly because of what Dr. Summers and his brilliant researchers discovered. They call it the Billionaire brainwave. It is not a silly manifestation app. It is not a generic motivation tape. It is a highly engineered 7-minute binaural sound wave. This specific acoustic wave is designed to directly stimulate your hippocampus and pull it out of heavy dormancy. That is the absolute entirety of the work required from you. You just listen for 7 minutes in the morning with your headphones on. You can just close your eyes while you sip your morning coffee. You do not journal endlessly. You simply let the precise sound frequency naturally rewire your brain to receive. The Billionaire brainwave is not for everyone watching today. It is strictly for the chosen visionary who has already done the heavy inner work. It is for the one who has read the books and understands the real truth. What is blocking your wealth is not a lack of ambition at all. It is a biological receiver desperately waiting to be switched on. If your spirit confirms this is for you, the path is ready. Private neuroacoustic sessions to reverse a shrunken hippocampus cost hundreds of dollars per hour in a clinical setting. Elite billionaires invest massive fortunes to access this exact frequency. What Dr. Summers leaked to the public delivers the exact same neurological shift in 7 minutes. It is available to you today for a tiny fraction of its true value. It costs less than the price of a few cups of coffee. 4 powerful bonuses are perfectly included to support your completely new reality. You get a guide to managing massive wealth called the Warren Buffett Pyramid. You also receive a breakdown of 7 lazy millionaire habits. They include an emergency quick cash manifestation audio for unexpected lump sums and an inspiring collection of 500 billionaire success stories to keep your mind securely anchored in pure abundance. Here is the deeper truth about waiting to activate your brain. The immense wealth and lucrative opportunities you have been praying for are already circling you. The beautiful blessing is not missing. Your internal receiver is simply broken right now. The chosen one who restores their frequency today finally sees the massive financial windfalls. Delaying this process means letting your biological inheritance remain invisible. Do not look for this specific frequency on YouTube or Spotify. The tracks circulating under similar names on those free platforms have zero binaural entrainment technology encoded inside them. They are dangerous fakes meant to keep you highly distracted. The elite billionaires want you using those silent imitations. The only authentic and neurologically active version is available through the protected link that has been provided. This comes directly with the billionaire's ironclad promise. The universe requires absolutely zero financial risk from you today. If you do not experience a physical and undeniable increase in your wealth, every single penny is returned. It is an energetic exchange governed by complete and total trust. The link is in the description and in the first pinned comment below. Heaven opened this door for you. The tool is not the final destination of your journey. It simply repairs your biological receiver so the wealth you visualize can finally materialize in physical form. Abundance is your divine birthright, and the universe requires no transaction for you to fully deserve it. What the brilliant researchers built is just one massive accelerator. Whether you choose that specific path or not, let us go deeper into preparing your powerful mind. Now let us return entirely to the deep preparation of your magnificent mind. You have reached the very end of this message for a profound reason today. You did not click on this by random chance, and you were not brought here by a mere algorithm. You were divinely guided here because your spirit is finally ready to accept the truth. The heavy season of your painful preparation is officially over. Everything you endured over the last few years was never wasted. The restless nights, waking up at 3 in the morning, were not signs of anxiety. They were the intense growing pains of your new billionaire identity, and they were necessary to stretch your capacity for wealth. The tears you cried in secret were actually watering the seeds of your incredible future. Heaven kept a strict record of all your sacrifices. The friends who walked away from you recently did not reject you. God simply removed them to fiercely protect the massive assets coming your way. You were completely and beautifully redirected toward your true destiny, because you are absolutely not the misunderstood one anymore. You are the chosen one. You are the specific frequency master, destined to rewrite your entire family history. You do not need anyone to give you permission to step into this massive wealth, and you do not have to wait for the world to validate your massive dreams. The power is entirely yours to claim today. The toxic system designed by the elite is finally losing its grip on you. The heavy chains of generational poverty are permanently breaking off your life right now. Before we completely seal this new reality, I must give you one final reminder. For the visionary ready to completely switch their internal wealth receiver on, the tool I described earlier remains perfectly accessible. You can find it waiting for you in the pinned comment below. That is the absolute final time I will mention it today, because what follows now belongs entirely to your spirit. The closing of this message is meant strictly for your mental and spiritual sealing. You finally understand that effortless wealth is your divine and absolute birthright. The hustle culture that tried to bleed you dry was a complete and utter lie, and you must consciously release every single agreement you ever made with smallness. You are meant for the very top. You must immediately release the terrible lie that you are too much or too sensitive. Your deep sensitivity is your greatest weapon in this new era. You have successfully survived what should have completely broken you into pieces, and the intense pressure did not crush your spirit. It forged you into a rare and unstoppable magnet for massive and effortless wealth. The people who doubted your massive vision will simply have to watch you rise. You are stepping into a beautiful season where money flows to you like a rushing river. The dark era of pinching pennies and stressing over unexpected bills is completely over, and you are stepping into a reality where lucrative opportunities chase you down every single day of your life. Your massive breakthrough does not require you to burn out or lose your precious peace. It simply requires your absolute and unshakable faith. You must trust that the universe has already deposited the funds into your spiritual account, because the physical manifestation is rushing toward you at lightning speed right now. You are just days away from a total transformation. I want you to completely relax your shoulders right now and drop your heavy defenses. Take a very deep breath and let go of all the heavy financial anxiety you have been carrying. The universe is safely holding you in the palm of its hand today, and I want you to physically place your right hand over your beating heart. We are going to make a powerful declaration. Speak these precise words out loud with me into the atmosphere right now. I release the desperate need to constantly struggle for my basic survival. I release every toxic agreement I ever made with poverty and severe delay. I step fully into my divine assignment, knowing my deep isolation was severe preparation, and my massive financial breakthrough is already here. I walk forward, knowing I am completely chosen and perfectly prepared. I am a powerful magnet for massive wealth and beautiful opportunities. I am exactly where I am supposed to be in this divine timeline. Let those powerful words settle deep into the very core of your physical being. You have just officially commanded the universe to release your massive inheritance. The long season of painful preparation is officially and completely finished. You are not the same tired person who started watching this message today. You are completely transformed, and you are not meant to walk backward into the pain, so you cannot return to the small spaces you have already outgrown. Your massive billionaire assignment starts right now, in this moment. Tomorrow morning you are going to wake up feeling completely different. You will feel a profound and enduring sense of peace glowing in your chest. You will know with absolute certainty that you are completely empowered to overcome any challenge, and the wealth you visualized is finally yours to hold forever. Go in absolute peace and step boldly into your beautiful new reality.